Okay, ready? You're disgusting. Hey guys, and welcome back to Third Act Thursdays. Today we're going to be talking about McAllen Memorial's production of Frozen Jr. Yet again, this was another show that I was not able to see.
But it doesn't matter because I saw it.
So, today, as you can tell, we don't have a special guest with us who saw the show with Daniela because she was the only one who was able to see the show. So, hopefully this video won't be weird just because it's kind of going to be like an interview.
I mean, it's us again.
I know, but it's just going to be like me asking you questions. Like, I can't say anything. Like, I can't talk about stuff.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. Come along on the journey with us.
With me.
Into the unknown. And...
Cut.
What? You can make jokes, but I can't? I can't with you. Alright. Let's just get right into it because this video is about to be a disaster. Okay, let's talk about the technical elements of the show. So, paint a picture for me because I wasn't there. So let's say I'm walking into the theater, I sit down in my seat. What's the first thing I see?
The stage. So when I got there, they were already very packed, and I got there at a pretty decent time. It was so refreshing to see an auditorium almost full. You know what I mean?
We've been seeing a lot more of that lately, by the way,
Yes.
which is beautiful
This
because
season.
some of these theaters are huge.
Mm-hmm.
So that's amazing to us for us to see that.
I think what they did is they painted their stage,
Okay.
and they had like snow details like on the lip of the stage and on the actual stage itself. And then behind the curtain, they had like 2 steps that represented multiple things. Like they used it for a mountain. They also used it for the castle, like the inside of the castle. There was a point, I'm skipping ahead. Skip ahead. But there was a point in Let It Go where they brought out this, it was a structure that was representing ice. Like it had a lot of ice spikes on it.
Mm-hmm.
And she got on top of it, like in the middle of the show. It was pretty cool. Like it gave more height and it gave more levels to what we were seeing. They also used dancers to represent like the magic of the snow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty cool.
I think some shows do that, like with the flowy stuff, so that you can see like the movement. I think that's pretty cool.
That was super cute. Super cute. I like that a lot.
That's an interesting aspect to have, like people actually be the. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did any of the set pieces like move, or was it just like stationary for them?
It was very stationary, which
Okay.
I didn't mind because it wasn't too far back. Like that's one issue with me. Like if there's a platform that stays there the whole time, but it's too far back, it doesn't do anything for me. They had a lot of room to play with.
It's a pretty good sized stage from what I remember. I was able to see a show their play.
Mind you, also, if I'm forgetting something or if when did I see the show? This was like early December?
Yeah, December 5th through the 8th.
So forgive me if I forget anything.
Well, not only that, but I think we don't like a lot of our notes or like stuff is mental. Like we don't actually like write stuff down because we are our main priority is to go to support you guys and to at least see the show. Yeah. We're not like constantly thinking like, oh, that we need to talk about that, or like, oh, we need to talk about that. Like we're not thinking that. So don't think that. So if she does forget anything, that's why, because we don't really like take mental notes, and we can't always take pictures because it's illegal.
What I loved is that they looked like they were having a blast. There was never a point where it was like dragging. Like they loved what they were doing.
I think that happens a lot of times with Disney shows just because of how fun they are.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it's Disney magic, you know, like it's very, it lends itself to be very fun and like, you know, like,
yeah,
I don't know, like it's just very like uplifting and like beautiful to put on. Was there any lighting moments that were special to you?
Yeah. Throughout the whole show, they really played really well with the lighting. Like, they had a lot of moments where it was, like, spectacular. Like, I don't know. It was super fun. They really played with the lights.
It was, like, attention grabbing.
Yeah, it really was. I liked it a lot.
I like when shows utilize the lights when they can. Like, I think it adds a lot more to the story and the way, like, the visuals, like, the pictures you guys are trying to put on.
And I love their costumes. Like, skipping ahead, I'm so sorry.
No,
but skipping ahead to the costumes, like, I really liked what they did. Yeah. The only thing with costumes is that I found, like, maybe one or two dresses that were, like, wrinkled. And, like, the stage manager in me wants to go iron them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, it happens in every show that I see, like, one or two dresses that I'm like, iron it. Especially when you have such beautiful costumes like that. Like, girl, iron them. I want to know how or who made that Olaf costume. Because it was so special. Like, I really loved it.
Okay, I may have seen a picture of it. Was it the one that looks like the actual?
Yes. Yeah. And it's a puppet. And it was in front of the actor Gabriel?
Gabriel. Yeah.
Gabriel. He had a few things to move, like, he was moving the mouth, and then he could also move his arms. So he was like, he had to be super animated, and it was so special. I loved it a lot.
That's awesome. I enjoy when kids are able to do things like that while acting, singing, and dancing. Like maneuvering a puppet around you is okay. First of all, singing, dancing, and acting at the same time is hard as it is.
Yeah.
So like adding this huge puppet to your whole like movement and stuff,
and acting as a one
yeah,
being.
Is just like amazing to me. Like I'm so in awe of that.
That's how I was. I liked his performance a lot.
Yeah, I think it also takes a lot of like creativity because like they kind of don't tell you how to direct the puppet. You kind of have to like make your movements the puppets, if that makes any sense. You know, like. So you can't be thinking like, oh, I gotta put my arm over here. Like, no, you gotta put his arm over here, kind of thing. You know, I think that's pretty cool that they did that. Okay, so let's move on to performance. Okay, so what do we want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about vocals?
I want to talk about vocals. I believe this was a collaboration with their choir, and I loved the vocals. Like, the vocals were very, very strong. You could hear all the harmonies. You could hear like little details that I love hearing. You know, I'm a harmony person. They really took, you could tell that they really took time to learn all the songs like perfectly. Like, there wasn't a time that something sounded off, which is very interesting because
I think
that's hard.
Yeah, and I think it's a really good move for theaters to combine with their choirs just because it adds so much to the vocals because those kids are used to learning parts and sticking to them and performing with them, so it creates such a beautiful experience when they both come together. And you know, and I think it's great because a lot of times some of the choir kids find out that they can act, and then it kind of becomes like, oh, like I can do both, you know?
Vocal standouts for me, obviously, Anna and Elsa. They had really good chemistry when it came to them singing together. Like, their voices blended very well. And I was very impressed by Elsa. But you could tell that she was very focused on the singing.
Okay. I mean, it is a hard role vocally. I mean, I know this is the junior show and it's not the Broadway version, which, bless. But I mean, there's still some vocal moments in there for her character that are not an easy task.
Yeah.
So I could see why she may have focused more on that, because I mean, honestly, like, I think a lot of times when I'm in a show, that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
If I mastered that, then I move on to the next thing, because I want to make sure that that's locked before I try to go into, because it's the easiest thing for me to do. Like, singing is my stronger suit, so I choose that.
See, and going into, I'm gonna slide into the performance aspect since it all comes together. I feel like I would have wanted to have seen more connection with the audience when it came to the acting, because I feel like it's such a singing heavy show, and it's such an iconic show, and I feel like they really focused on that aspect, that I wanted a little bit more with the audience, or with at least the connection of the character and the problems that they're having internally. Like, I feel like I didn't get to see that a lot.
Okay, so like her kind of, you being able to empathize with it, with it. Okay, I get that.
Yeah, and that's such a important part for me, because
it is,
because I'm not as strong as of a singer as you. So what I do is I focus more on acting than I do with singing.
Yeah.
So like, we're complete opposites when it comes to like developing a character, and I feel like you have to find a good middle in order for it to, because if you focus so much on singing, by the time the performance comes, you haven't even thought about the process of how your character develops throughout the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, because I know that it is an important thing, but for me it's the most difficult. You have to make it feel like each and every one of them can connect to you. So like, I think that's very hard. Like, I don't think it's an easy thing to do, but it can be done. Every Broadway star is capable of doing this, because every single show that I've seen, I'm like, yes, like, you're talking directly to me.
Yeah.
And they're not.
That's
like,
that's their whole job.
Yeah.
Honey.
So
they get
like,
paid for that.
I know, but like, I'm saying, like, it's
kidding.
beautiful when you're able to do it.
What I get from it, or like how I try to get it, is just being myself. Because you have to like be vulnerable and show them that they're not just watching like a performance, like they're watching someone that they can relate to, and someone that can be relatable.
See, and the last thing I'm thinking of is being myself. I don't like try to be something I'm not, but I kind of like,
that's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing.
But I try to find like, okay, like, I would react to this situation like this, but based on what I know about this character, I think he would react like this, so let's find
a middle.
Yeah. And that's why I'm able to do it. But it's really hard. It's really hard.
I've always explained it to my kids like this. You can't put on someone else's shoes. They don't fit you. You have to wear your own shoes. You have to wear your own shoes and mold around them, so that the outside looks like it's someone that it's not, and the inside is someone else. That's what I tell my kids all the time.
No, that really is beautiful. But we've gone on a tangent long enough, so let's continue.
But I had a lot of fun. Honestly, like, it was one of those shows that even me going by myself, like, I didn't care. Like, it was that fun. I had a blast.
I think that's great. Like, it's like when people go see movies by themselves.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think I would do it again. I'd go see a show by myself again.
So, let's move on to our last two categories. So, what was your favorite song from the show? Do you need a refresher?
Yes.
We can give two since I can't give one.
Alright.
So it's fair.
My first song is In Summer.
I love that song.
I'm still crying.
Starts crying.
It was so much fun. Like, that song was delivered so flawlessly because it was so animated. And I loved it. And like, I don't know. It was a very special performance. I liked it a lot.
Olaf is one of those few characters that really does not lend itself to interpretation, because you are coming to see Olaf. Like, you know, like, there is a standard.
Yeah.
And there's a few, like, you know, delivery things that you could change
And
up.
honestly, the standard was met. My second song has to be Love is an Open Door. Not that it's... Okay, listen to me. This is my favorite song, like, of the musical. Yes, period. But the delivery was great. The chemistry between Hans, ew, and Anna was just... It was so charming. Like, it was so cute. Like, I don't know. It was just really cute. I liked it a lot. Like, it was so much fun.
I had a feeling going into this that was going to be her favorite song.
It was
but
just...
I didn't want to say it.
It was done beautifully. Like, they did it justice. It was fun.
All right. So, this week's Diamond. Who does that go to for you?
Gabriel Ramirez, obviously. He was absolutely amazing. And I've seen him. Okay, I'm gonna talk about something real quick. And I've seen him in different shows, and I get starstruck, and I don't know what to say because, like, I don't know, like, he was so good, and I couldn't, like, I can't find myself, like, composing myself and going up to him, like, at a different event and being like, I loved you in the show. It was amazing.
I witnessed this struggle at the Lion King.
I saw him and I was like,
oh my god.
Shane shirt. Like, I loved his performance. Like, every time he came on stage, I had the biggest smile on my face. Every single time. Like, it was so much fun. You know I love Frozen, and
yeah, she does.
I don't know, he did that character justice. It was just so perfect.
All right. So, that's all we have for you this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though it was a little different. I did get to talk a lot more than I thought I was going to, but a lot of it was purely opinion. And you may or may have not received an acting lesson from it. But
because we do that now.
In conclusion, we really hope you enjoyed the video. Congratulations to McAllen Memorial for this wonderful show. Next week, we will be reviewing Spelling Bee from Edinburg North High School. And we already filmed the video, so you're in for a treat. From what they both told me about the show in the video, it seems like it was a pretty fun experience that they missed dearly. So, stay tuned for that. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much.
Bye! Hey, you got the virus?
You're not just looking at one person in the audience, like you have a whole audience. And all of these people have to feel like you have low battery on your phone. Is it still recording?
Yeah.
Okay, my charger's right
I think.
there. Yeah, it is.
I think it made a